operations and international logistic management. Before discussing on international operations and logistic management, let me first tell you what are the objectives of my class today. After going through the class, you can describe the meaning, nature, and scope of international operations and logistic management. You can identify various strategic issues involved in international operation management. You can discuss the elements and components of international logistic management. One can appreciate the issues involved in the international operations and logistic management. So what will be our structure of discussion today? Our structure of discussion will be like this. First, I will give an introduction to the topic. Then we will discuss something on international operations management. Next, we will discuss strategic issues in IOM. Next, we will discuss ILM, that is International Logistic Management. Next, we will discuss ISO, that is International Service Operations. Next, we will discuss international retailing, international SCM, supply chain management. We will summarize our discussion. We will have some keywords, self-assessment question, and a reference for further readings. Friends, what is operations management? First, we have to understand what is operations management. Then we will discuss what is international operations management. Operational management deals with the entire steps involved or entire logistic involved of transferring goods from the stage of sourcing of raw material to manufacturing it and to transportation of it to delivery it to the customers. So operations management deals with the entire activities from sourcing the raw material to delivering it to the customers. And if this operation management is done on international setup, that is known as international operation management. So if this done sourcing of raw material to transfer of goods to the customers in international market, that is known as international operations management. So international operations management deals with sourcing of raw material to transfer of finished goods to customer in an international market. And in entire process, the main motto of the organization should be value addition. The organization should add some value. The international operation management is not only applicable in tangible goods, but it is also applicable in case of intangible goods. So the international operation management have some 5 important issues, and we will discuss each issue separately. What are the 5 important issues in international operation management? The first important issue is international production strategies. So we will discuss what is international production strategy and what are different elements of international production strategy. Second, we will discuss international logistic management. We will discuss what is international logistic management, what are the key issues involved in it. Third, we will discuss international service operations. Fourth one is international retailing, and the last one is international supply chain management. So in this chapter, there are 4 subcomponents. First one is international production strategy. Second one is international logistic management. Third one is international service operations. Fourth one is international retailing. And fifth one is international SCM or international supply chain management. Friends, before discussing on these 5 aspects, let me first differentiate you between 2 important terms. One is production management and operations management. What is the difference between them? Production management is the management of producing tangible goods. So it's all activities, all interrelated management activity which are involved in producing tangible goods. So production management is a term which is used in context of tangible goods. Hence, it is also known as manufacturing management. In production management, we deal concepts like factories management, machines management, assembly line management, inventory management, workers management, like this. To operations management. F.W. Harris, he has pioneered the work of economic ordering quantity or economic lot size. How economic ordering quantity or economic lot size is calculated in context of international services management. Next one is W.S. Stelwart. He has given the concept of SWC, that is SQC, that is statistical quality control. Then Dog and Roaming, they have given the concept called statistical sampling methods, and they have used it in quality control. And D.B. Dancing, he has used linear programming in operations management. Then Deming and Duran, they have introduced the concept of quality, productivity, profitability for Japanese manufacturing organization. So they are the pioneer in the study of quality, productivity, and profitability. So many authors have contributed immensely towards development of operations management as a subject. Now we will discuss the 5 important concepts of international operational management. What are the 5 important concepts? First, we have discussed these 5 concepts which we have discussed: international production strategy, international logistic management, international service operations, next international retailing, and next one is international supply chain management. We will study one by one. First we will study international production strategy. What is international production strategy? We will discuss in context of that. So we will have 5 important points. International production strategy. Once we produce products, we have to consider 2 important points in production. One is cost of production, another is scale of economies. Each and every organization try to reduce the cost of production, and the cost of production can be reduced only when you do large scale production. So what is cost of production? Each and every international firm try to reduce its cost. How cost can be reduced? Cost can be reduced if you produce close to the source of supply of raw material. That means the transportation cost of raw material will be less, and you can obtain the raw material at cheaper cost. Or if you close your customers, keeping in mind you can produce near to your customers. So there are 2 types of production. One is production near to supply of raw material, another is production near to customers. If you produce near to customers, then the distribution cost will be less. And if you produce near to supply of raw material, then your transportation cost will be less. So you have to make a choice where to produce. Many international firms like Apple outsource its manufacturing operations to low cost destinations like China and India. Global auto companies have manufacturing base locating near to India, because India is one of the hub of auto ancillary productions. Then global retail chains get their textiles, apparel stitched or produced in Bangladesh and Vietnam. The most important textile manufacturer produce their product in Bangladesh or Vietnam because they get cheap labor. Then next one is, so 2 things you have to consider. One is cost of production, another is scale of economies. What is scale of economies? When you produce a product in large quantity, per unit cost comes down. This is known as economies of scale. Economies of scale. So each and every organization try to attain economies of scale. Like Coca-Cola produce its product for 160 country, and it get the benefit of global experience curve, that is learning from global market, and they scale their operations. The scaling of operation must create value for the customer, and the demand for B must be sufficiently large to reap the scale of advantages. So while producing, two things must be considered. First, where to produce, that is cost of you have to produce in those areas where cost of production will be less. Cost of production will be less if you produce near to supply of raw material, or if you produce near to the customers. Then you have to scale up your production so to get the benefit of economies of scale. Next, we will discuss in this context, there are many operations management techniques which can be used in producing the products or services. What are those techniques? The techniques can be TQM, total quality management. You can use BPR technique, business process re-engineering, NPD technique, new product development technique, lead time management techniques, greater flexibility technique, BPO, business process outsourcing techniques, Six Sigma, quality related technique, reduction of cost of production. Like many techniques you can adopt while producing the products. So the production in international operational management decisions generally deals with deciding three important decisions. First decision is decision related to acquisition of resources. What is acquisition of resources? From where resources can be acquired. Second, the decision related to location of business, where to set up the business, locational decision. And the third decision is logistic management and material management decisions. So international operation management deals with three important decisions. First one is acquisition of resources, second one is location of business, third one is logistic and material management. These are the three important decisions to be taken in international operation management. What are the key issues involved in operation management? We have already discussed there are 5 important key issues involved in international operational management, and these 5 important key issues are: first one is international production strategies, second one is international logistic management, third one is international service operations, fourth one is international retailing, fifth one is international supply chain management. These are the 5 important aspects of international management, operational management. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. International production strategy. What are the key issues involved in international production strategy? Generally, when you produce a product for international customers, you have to follow 4 C's. 4 C's. These are 4 C's. C. 4 C technique. What are the 4 C? First is C starts with compatibility. Second C is configuration. Third C is coordination. Fourth C is control. Like in marketing, we are dealing with 4 P's. In production, we deal with 4 C's. What are the 4 C's? Compatibility, configuration, coordination, and control. We'll discuss these 4 C's in context of production management. First C is compatibility. What is compatibility? That is manufacturing compatibility. Second C is configuration, production configuration. Third C is coordination, that is production coordination. And fourth C is control, that is control of production. So production management involves 4 C's, 4 C's of production management. It is a question, important question, 4 C's of production management. We will discuss each C independently. First, we will discuss regarding compatibility, manufacturing compatibility. What is compatibility? Compatibility is the range of consistency between foreign investment and companies' competitive strategies. The compatibility involves the following things. First thing, you have to produce in such a way that your cost shall be minimized. It deals with cost minimization strategy. We have discussed how cost can be minimized. Cost can be minimized if you produce in large scale, which is known as you get the benefit of economies of scale. Or you produce in those countries where input costs are low, where labor cost is low. We have discussed because of this, many companies are producing in China. They are setting up their production unit in China to get the benefit of low labor cost. So manufacturing compatibility, first point, you have to produce in those countries where cost will be minimized. Second one is dependability. What is dependability? You have to produce in such a way that there is a trust in company's product. Tata's product, we are assured of Tata brand. The product might be better because there is a dependability. There is a trust in company's product. There is a trust in assurance of price promise. So the production must be dependable. Third one is the production must be qualitative. The product must be qualitative one. Quality is the ability of a product to meet or exceed customers' expectation. Customers के expectation से ज़्यादा देना, इसको बोलते हैं quality. Because of quality, many automakers of Japan has kept their footprint throughout the world. Like Honda, Nissan, Toyota, they captured the US market because of quality. Because they adopt many quality related techniques like TQM, quality certification, performance reliability, is quality, speed of delivery, consistency. These are some aspects. Another aspect is flexibility. So what is flexibility? Flexibility means it's the ability to produce, expand the production or contrast the production. So it's the ability to adjust the volume of output is known as flexibility. Then one is research and development. It refers to R&D activities. R&D activity means producing a product after due research and development. There should be continuous improvement in your product. That is known as fast C. What is fast C? Fast C deals with your manufacturing compatibility. Compatibility over. You have to produce in such a way that your cost is minimized, the product is dependable, quality is assured, there is flexibility in production, and production must be backed by proper R&D efforts. Second C we will discuss. The second C is configuration. What is configuration? Product configuration. So we are discussing regarding 4 C's of production management. First C we have discussed. Second C, configuration. What is configuration? Production configuration. What does it mean? Management of the farm needs to determine the configuration of production facility. Where to produce? There can be 3 types of product configuration. First, second, third. But it's three type of product configuration. First type of product configuration is centralized production. Second one is regional production. Third one is multi-country approach of production. So what is centralized production? Centralized production means in this case the international organization produce the entire product at one location. That is centralized location. It produce the entire product at one location. It may be home country based location or any other location, and he produce the product there and sell it throughout the globe. That is known as centralized production. Second one is regional production. What is regional production? For a particular region, they set up one production base. For southeastern region, they may set up the production base in India. For European region, they can set up in German. For American market, they can set up the production in USA. This is known as regional production base. Next one is multi-country approach. What is multi-country approach? In this case, they set up production base in different countries as per the demand of the country where they sell their product. They shift their production base. So in order to decide the location of the production facility, the following factors are considered. What are the factors which are considered while deciding which type of production facility we will adopt, whether we will adopt centralized production policy or regional production policy or multi-country production policy? It depends upon several factors. What are the factors which are considered for deciding the production facility? First one is country factors. What is country factor? Country factor simply means the availability of infrastructure, availability of power, availability of water, availability of transportation, availability of communication facility, medical care, education, housing facility in the area where you want to set up your production base, whether all these things are available or not. Second one is technology factor, whether the required technology is available in that area or not, in that country or not. Third one is product factor. In this case, you have to calculate value to weight ratio. What is value to weight ratio? Value to weight ratio is simply product value by product weight. Product value by product weight. If the value to weight ratio is more, like in case of pharma products, gems, jewelries, their value to weight ratio is very high. In that case, they can be easily shipped by air to any part of the world. In that case, the transportation cost is very small percentage of the total cost because the product has high value to weight ratio. Then next factor which we consider is government policies. What is the policy of the government towards production facility provided? What is the facility provided by the government? What is the extent of indigenization? What is import restriction of the government? Currency restriction, environmental regulation, local product standard, all these things, political stability, labor laws, all these factors decide the production base. Next, there are certain organizational issues. What is your organization structure? That also decide the production base. Next, production coordination and control of production is also affect the production base. Next, we will discuss the second aspect of international operation management, that is international logistic management. Second aspect, production over international production management. Next, we will discuss international logistic management. What is logistic? First, we have to discuss logistic management. It consists of two words. One is management. Management means planning, implementing, controlling. And planning, implementing, controlling of logistics. So, what is logistics? So, Council of Logistic Management USA defines this definition of logistic management. Logistic management is a process of planning, implementing and controlling in an efficient and cost effective manner what flow and storage of raw material, work in progress, inventory, finished goods and related information from point of origin to the point of consumption. So two things are important: point of origin, point of origin. Another point is important: point of consumption. All activities done from point of origin to point of consumption and management of all these activity is coming under the purview of logistic management. So logistic management involves all activities from point of origin to point of consumption, so that we can meet customers' demand, customers' requirement. So there is a difference between logistic management and supply chain management. Logistic management and supply chain management. Logistic management and supply chain management. What is main point of difference between logistic management and supply chain management? The logistic management deals with operational issues, where supply chain management deals with strategic issues. Logistic management deals with cost effective and efficient delivery of goods and services, where supply chain management addresses issues of improving existing process, leveraging technology, creating a relationship with stakeholders. So supply chain management and logistic management are more or less related, but supply chain management has a broader view than logistic management. So we are concerning with logistic management. It deals with all activities from point of origin to point of consumption. So logistic management generally focuses on four issues. Four important issues are there in case of logistic management. What are the four important issues involved in logistic management? First issue is inbound logistic. Second issue is process logistic. Third issue is outbound logistic. Fourth important issue is reverse logistic. What are those? Inbound logistic, process logistic, outbound logistic, reverse logistic. What are those? Inbound logistic deals with flow of raw material, flow of parts, flow of supplies from vendor to farm. So inbound logistic deals with flow of raw material, spare parts, supplies from vendors to farm. Process logistic deals with flow of production process. Outbound logistic deals with flow of material, parts and supplies between different units of the farm. And what is reverse logistic? It is just the opposite of inbound logistic. It is the flow of smooth return of packing, delivery utilities and obsolete, outdated, outfashioned, rejected cargoes. So there are four types of logistics which must be managed. We have to manage inbound logistic, process logistic, outbound logistic and reverse logistic. So we have to manage all these things. So in case of logistic management, there will be some logistic inputs and there will be some logistic processing and there will be some logistic outputs. So this is the entire system of logistic management. There will be logistic inputs, logistic processing, logistic outputs. What are the logistic inputs? Logistic inputs will be in form of natural resources, financial resources, human resources, informational resources. And these will be processed. And there will be some logistic output. What are the logistic output? Logistic output is efficient movement of goods and service and creation of time and place utility and competitive advantage in physical distribution. These are logistic inputs and logistic outputs. And there are certain logistic process. What are the logistic process? In this case, we have to deal with customer service management, demand forecasting, distribution and communication, inventory control, warehousing, material handling, order processing, packaging and packing, traffic and transportation, procurement. All these things are logistic process. So logistic management deals with logistic inputs, logistic process, and logistic output. Next, we are discussing growing role of international logistic. In an international logistic management, that is the logistic management of an international firm, the international firm operates under a VUCA environment. We have discussed the concept of VUCA. With that operate under a environment of volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous environment. In this VUCA environment, we have to follow 7R model. 7R model. 7R model for logistic management. This 7R model of international logistic management is important. What is 7R model? 7R model of international logistic deals with first R, right time. Second, management is helpful to win a competitive market. Following points summarize the importance of international logistic. International logistic management helps in generation of demand. It helps in reduction of cost of doing business. It helps in tapping new international clientele or new international client. It helps in ensuring rapid economic growth. It bridges the gap between demand and supply. It creates strategic infrastructure for global integration. It has a global outlook for the entire industry, and it gives access to sophisticated logistic process and capability. It ensures critical supplies on time. Next, integrated logistics services. We know that logistic deals with point of origin to point of consumption. All activities, point of origin to point of consumption, all activities are considered under logistic management. So, a particular firm may not be able to specialize in all the activities from point of origin to point of consumption. So, there are many professional agencies which has expertise in logistic management. In international business, we take the help of third-party logistic managers or third-party logistic providers to do integrated logistic service for us. So these third-party logistic service providers provide the following activities. They manage our entire logistic management operations. So this is known as integrated logistic service. They provide all the services under one umbrella. This known as integrated logistic services. What are the integrated logistic services? It starts from point of origin to ends with point of consumption. All activities. It deals with packaging and labeling requirement. It deals with stuffing and destuffing. It deals with fumigation and sanitization. It deals with parallelization and unitization. It deals with arranging containers. All activities are done by third-party logistic providers. It deals with pre-shipment inspection. It deals with tax-related formalities. It deals with customer clearance. It deals with trade documentation. It deals with cargo insurance. It deals with licensing formalities. It deals with booking of ship space. It deals with modal choice decisions. It deals with stewarding arrangements. It deals with regulatory compliance. It deals with settlement of payments. It deals with claiming of incentives. It deals with duty drawback, export formalities, etc. That means the integrated logistics service providers does all the activities in the global value chain. That is starts with point of origin to point of destination. So integrated logistics service provider or third party logistics service provider can easily coordinate logistical activities in a global value chain, that is from the point of origin to place of destination, and ensure optimum benefit to the user. So in case of international operation management, the third party logistic provider plays an important role. Third party logistic provider, they are professional logistic management firms. They use many sophisticated logistic management techniques. They use the internet related techniques for managing the logistic of a international firm, international third party logistic service provider. So third party logistic service provider does all activities in a international operational management. So managing international service operation. Next one is managing the service in a international setting. An international service operation is one that transforms resources into intangible outputs for its customers around the world. In this case, the final product is not a goods, tangible goods, but it is services. Many international firms are providing services internationally. It deals with management of air transport, handling of international corporate business accounts. It deals with business process outsourcing. It deals with knowledge process outsourcing, that is BPO and KPO. It deals with medical transcription, legal and accounting services, IT enabled service, health services, tourism services. These are managed internationally. So managing international services involve the following key issues. The following issues must be addressed while managing international services. What are the issues? First one is capacity planning. What is capacity planning? Capacity means at a time how many person you can serve. That is known as capacity planning. So capacity planning is the one of the major issues in international service operation planning. It refers to how many persons you can serve at a time. Second one is location planning. What is locations planning? Where you will provide service. It must be closer to customers. Then facilities layout and design. What are the other facilities? What will be the layout? What will be the design? It must be carefully designed, carefully designed and carefully managed. So there will be proper look and feel provided to customers. Then operation scheduling, it's very important. Service, it cannot be stored. It is a perishable item. Hence, proper scheduling of services is necessary to meet the customer's demand. So in service delivery, we have to take the impact of following factors to assure quality in services. What factors are considered while providing service in international area? You have to consider the following factor. First factor is you have to understand customer service need, what the customer want. You have to give convenience of service. You have to give promptness of service. You have to give clarity of service benefits. Then you have to provide service in an appropriate service environment. You have to ensure service quality and service reliability. You have to ensure quality of employees. You have to give information about the service. Next, there will be a respectful contact with the customers, dependability in handling problems, service performed as per customers' expectation, readiness to respond to a customer's request must be there. Customer's request must be responded quickly, and there must be reliable self-service technologies which must be provided to customers. Next, we will discuss the concept of international retailing. Retailing means selling in small quantity to the customer. Generally, in a supply chain, first there is manufacturer. Manufacturer sell goods to wholesaler. Wholesaler sell goods to retailer, and retailer sell goods to final customers. This is the normal supply chain or channels of distribution. So in this case, retailer is the most prominent channel of distribution which has direct contact with the final consumer. In India, retail sector is booming like anything. By 2030, Indian retail sector will be of $1.5 trillion. It's an estimate. Today, we are the fourth largest market in the world. And Indian retail sector today contributes 10% to India's GDP and have 8% share in employment generation of the entire global retail markets. So in case of international marketing, international retailing, we follow a model. That model is attract, convert, satisfy, retain model. ACSR model. ACSR model. What is a first we attract the customer. In case of retailing, first thing is to attract the customer. Next, once the customer are attracted to your retail shop, then you have to convert them. So first we attract the footfalls, then we attract the prospect, then we convert the prospect to customers. Once they become customer, we try to satisfy their wants, and once they satisfied, we try to retain them so that they will make next purchase. This is ACSR model of retailing. ACSR model of retailing. In case of international retail management, we have to follow this ACSR model: attract, convert, satisfy, and retain model of retailing, international retailing. So international retailing deals with the following concepts. First, attracting customer back to retail stores. First point is we have to attract the customer to the stores. Second point is we have to catering to changing customers' expectation. We have to meet their needs. We can follow hybrid retailing model. What is hybrid retailing model? We can apply online as well as offline model. So there will be some online, offline system of payments. We can use digital technologies. We can use contactless payments in hybrid retailing. Online plus offline mode of retailing. Combination of online and offline mode of retailing is known as hybrid retailing. Then we have to go for supply chain management, and we have to retain satisfied customers. Once the customer is satisfied, we have to retain it. These are certain issues of international retail management. Next, we will discuss international supply chain management. Supply chain management plays an important discipline today. Its supply chain management was started in 1964, and it encompasses entire business function from point of origin, that is sourcing of goods or service, to point of supply to supplies of finished goods, and even reverse supply chain operations and corrective actions. So supply chain management issue involves all activities from point of origin to point of consumption. The strategic requirement of international business determine the extent, characteristics, and strategic direction of this supply chain. International supply chain process involves the following components. These are following components of international supply chain management. In the international supply chain management, the following activities are done. First, we have to find out the customer service needs, what the customer want. Then we have to create manufacturing and distribution networks. We have to go for international inventory management. We have to go for outsourcing. We have to create relationship between supplier, vendors, buyers, consumers. We have to create stakeholders relationship in supply chain management, that is the relationship between transporter, packer, mover, etc. We have to consider business process. We have to consider information flow network. We have to take into account HRM requirement. We have to take performance goals. These are certain aspects of international supply chain management. So international supply chain management identifies the complete process of providing goods and services to final consumer. It includes all the parties, all the stakeholders of logistic operation from supplier to consumer in an integrated system. The scope of supply chain management includes procurement, production, distribution, reverse logistic operation, improving the entire ecosystem. The supply chain is coordinated through information system. There must be a balancing between cost and benefit of supply chain. The overall process should be, supply chain management must be designed in such a way that it creates time utility, price utility, form utility, and possess utilities to end customer consumers, and possession utilities. 4 types of utilities must be created in international supply chain management: time utility, price utility, form utility, and possession utility. These are the scope of international supply chain management. International supply chain management generally operate in 2 models. 2 important models are there in international supply chain management. One is supply chain operator reference, SCOR model. It is designed by Supply Chain Council, and it measures total supply chain performance. And another model is Global Supply Chain Forum. It introduced the supply chain model, GSCF model. This is built on business processes that are both cross-functional and cross-organizational in nature. So it deals with cross-functional business process and cross-organizational business process. The supply chain management may be of 3 types. One is upstream supply chain, another is horizontal supply chain, another is downstream supply chain. What is upstream supply chain? In upstream supply chain, we deals with procurement of raw material. Horizontal supply chain refers to movement within the organization of the raw material. That is material handling, inventory management, quality control. All these are coming horizontal supply chain purview. And downstream supply chain, it deals with delivery of finished goods to the customers. So in case of international supply chain management, we use different technologies. These are some of the important technologies which are used under international supply chain management. New technologies. We use 3D printing, we use artificial intelligence, augmented reality, automated material handling system, barcoding, automatic identification. We use big data analytics, we use blockchain technology, international supply chain, we use cloud computing, we use CAD, computer aided design, we use CAE, computer aided engineering, we use CAPP, that is computer aided process planning, we use computer graphics, computer networks, we use database management, we use embedded system management, we use environmental control system or ECS, we use flexible manufacturing system FMS, we use hybrid reality, we use IoT, Internet of Things, we use machine learning, we use material resource planning 1, material resource planning 2, we use real-time process systems. These are modern technology in international supply chain management. We use RFID technology, rapid frequency identification technology. We use robotics in international supply chain management. We use sensor networks. We use virtual reality in international supply chain management. We use wireless communication system in international supply chain management. These are different technologies used in international supply chain. So in our class today, we have discussed regarding international operation management. In this case, it is something more than international production or manufacturing management. Production or manufacturing management deals with manufacturing of tangible goods, whereas international operation management deals with manufacturing of tangible as well as intangible things. So it's the management of international service operations. So international operations management refers to transformation of goods from raw material to finished goods. In this context, we have discussed some key issues of international operations management. In that context, we have issues like international production management, international logistic management, international service operation management, international retail management, international supply chain management. In case of international production management, we have discussed the concept of 4 C's. What is 4 C's? 4 C's related to configuration, coordination, compatibility, configuration, coordination, and control of production. 4 C's of production management we have discussed. We have discussed international business manager has to constantly create values. Okay, then we have discussed different key issues of managing international service operation. In that context, we have discussed capacity planning, locational planning, layout planning, operational scheduling. All these things we have discussed. Next, we are discussing regarding SCSR model of international retail management. International retail management focus upon SCSR model. What is SCSR model? SCSR means attracting customer, converting them into customers, then satisfying their needs and retailing them from futures. Then we have discussed the supply chain management. The supply chain management, in that context, we have discussed different supply chain models. Then we have discussed use of different technology in supply chain. In our discussion today, we have discussed regarding some key words: international operation management. That it is international operation management, manufacturing compatibility management, product configuration, product coordination, control production, international logistics. All these things we have discussed. Outsourcing, international supply management. These are certain self-assessment questions. What is international operation management? What are 4 C's international production management? What is the linkage between international marketing management and international logistic management? What is international service operations? What are the challenges in it? And what are the operational issues involved in international retailing? What is SCM? And what are different modern techniques used in SCM, like artificial intelligence, integrated logistics service, e-commerce, supply chain management? And these are certain reference for further reading on international operation management. Thank you. Thank you for attending my class. Thank you. Thank you.